Hello everybody, Patrick Nichols, Hot Rod Magazine and Muscle Car Barn Finds, and I've stumbled across a massive muscle car horde here in rural Iowa, and I would like to share a lot of this find with you. And what I'm going to do is survey the yard, possibly in a part 2 of this video. But the first thing I'm going to do is show you some of the higher end, some of the more collectible stuff that's on this property. But I'm going to pan around first and give you an idea of the degree and the amount of what is on this property. And I can tell you a whole lot of the stuff that's here is not junk. Just about everything here is of high-end and collectible stuff. Big block, small block, all muscle car era stuff. So first thing we're going to do now is I'm going to come up here and go into this garage here and give you an idea of what's in here. Really collectible cars. Just to prep you, two L78 1970 Chevy 2 Novas are on this property, documented. And what you see right off the bat here is a 1976 Ford Gran Torino, which most people understand that was an old TV show, Starsky and Hutch, and a 70 Chevelle SS, which is a nice car, which is a driver. The owner of the property says that's one of his fun cars. But back here in the back, more of what we do is the cars that have been sitting for long periods of time and barn finds, especially the rare big block ones. And this is a 1971 heavy Chevy. It's original paint. Roughly about 6,700 of these cars were built in the 2 years of 71 and 72. And the general consensus is roughly about 500 or less were of big block variety, and this car here is a big block. Really cool car. The owner of this car claims he lost his license driving this car because of his driving habits out street racing and so on, which a lot of us did those things back in the day. I'll open the door here and show you the inside, which he has a quilt laying over the seat, and the original build sheet is present to this car. Really cool. 71 heavy Chevy. About 6,000, over 6,000 in the 2 years this special production was made, in the 71 and the 72 models. And the Starsky and Hutch car, I believe, is a little over 1,200 of these cars are made for Ford. And I also like to give you an idea of the amount of stuff that is here. Now look at the 621 Bellhausens that are stored. And those of you that understand the value and how hard it is to find stuff like this, that's in nice condition. If you swap meet, you understand. Day 2 valve covers, just stacks of them. Mickey Thompson, hard to find stuff. And if you look over here, anybody ever seen that many Muncie transmission cases before? A lot of stuff here. I mean, at least 500 Muncie transmissions is on this property. So what I'm trying to do is give you the best idea of what's on this property as we do a walk along. Now let's come through here and let me show you these L78 Chevy 2 Novas, 1970 models, both of these cars. You can see big block stuff is just stored, actually really organized for the amount of stuff that this person has. But in the trunk of this 70 L78, which is about 3,765 of these were made in 1970 in the Chevy 2. And a lot of you are familiar with the 69 that I just found that was from Yanko Chevrolet. This is a 70 model, and you can see the extremely hard to find 458 DA pulley with 1149 with the white fan, which is correct, which is super hard to find. Smog pump with a diverter valve and the original Muncie shifter, all laying in this car still. TCS switch, which is correct for a 70 model. 69 models did not have that. This car is original paint, except for the driver's side quarter panel and the hood. The original owner to this car actually was revving the car really high, and through the fan through the hood, an individual had to buy another hood for this car. So aside from the hood and the driver's side quarter panel, it's original paint, and it's really solid actually. It has some rust, but not, you know, an excessive amount. And just to give you an idea, those of you who are familiar with these fans, this is an original 5-blade NOS fan for this car. It's laying on the top here. Really high dollar fan. NOS in the box. You can see the GM box, and this is the documentation to the car. The car's original engine, original transmission, original axle, and the interior. Try to give you the best idea of the interior. It's definitely dark in here, but I try to bring you guys the way that I find these cars, exactly the way they're sitting in their long time resting spot. This is the alternate hood that was purchased by the owner. And as you can see, there's the original 396, 402, and 70. Those of you familiar, in 1970 they went to 402 cubic inches, which a standard bore was 425, which is a 4 1/8. So they are actually standard bore 402 cubic inches with all the 70 model correct stuff. The 569 flat intake, power steering, TCS switch, so on and so forth. That's the correct 70 master cylinder. And I would do a rundown on that cow tag, but it's extremely dirty. We pretty well know what it says. Code 10 for white, 1010, 2-door sedan, Willow Run. So we pretty well know what that says. 1970 L78 Chevy 2. Now, the second one is a code 48 forest green model. Has the XT wheels still in the trunk. 811 water pump is over here. Do my best to show you what's in the box. On this side, which is the smog pump again as well, with the 458 D8 pulley. And those of you familiar, that's about a $700-800 pulley alone. Now this car has been repainted, but the individual that owns the car now purchased this car from the second owner that owned it since 1974. Really cool. It's got some day 2 add-ons, which is pretty cool, with the slot wheels. And I'll try to show you the inside of this car, which has got the correct 70 model steering wheel. This has the black vinyl interior. Really cool. Factory carpeting. And I believe this car is an M21 car. And now I'll show you under the hood of this car. Again, only 3,765 of these cars were built in 1970 for the Chevy, 1970 Chevy 2 models. You can see, same as the white car. 569 intake, the TCS switch, which is right here, which is 70 model. The 69s did not have that. And the correct 837 alternator, the 5-blade fan, all of that stuff is still intact. This is an original engine to this car. The correct air cleaner, so on and so on. Really, really hard to find rare cars. And I know you Nova guys are really enjoying my recent videos because I've showcased now 3 Novas in a row, counting the Yenko 69 that I found a few months ago. And over here to your right, this is a real 70 RSZ28, but it's not a numbers car. It's another car that's used for fun. It's got a 468 engine in it. But it's a really nice car as well. Really pretty red. But the main focus of this video so far is the two street brawlers, 70 L78, 396, 375. And you Nova guys understand it. In a power to weight combination, it just does not get much better than that. This car, power to weight, is in the class with a 70 Chevelle LS6 all day long. So those, and everybody knows I'm a Chevelle guy, but I understand how powerful these machines were. They just don't get much more powerful than these 70 L78 Chevy 2s. Now, let's pan around to all the parts that's in this building. I mean, oil pans, air cleaners, steering wheels, lots of stuff. Looks like a 70 Chevelle dash pad, some Nova parts, a Nova pad. Just this carburetor alone is a 70 Chevelle 7040205 EH. Just to give you guys an idea of how valuable this stuff is in this Horde. This is a Horde, but it's pretty organized, and everything here is super hard to find stuff. And I know the light doesn't always focus. If you look, I think that is a 68 carburetor, 68 L78 carb. Massive amount of stuff here. And here's some stuff that's been bee blasted and ready to go. I believe that's a 69 Super Sport wheel. YA code. Yep, YA is for 69. AO is for 70. Fuel pumps. On and on and on. Lots of NOS stuff in this place too. So I hope you guys are enjoying this walk along of this stuff. These ultimate muscle cars, these two Chevy 2s, really super hard to find. Two of the 3765 are right here, and both have documentation with the CKO engines, the Protecto plate. They're both documented with original engine, trans, and rear axle in both cars. Really, really nice stuff. And in my line of work, that's what people want to see, is the cars that have been sitting for long periods of time and that have mostly original stuff. You know, the parts alone to some of these cars are, you know, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a piece when you go to try to find the parts of these cars. That's why I'm trying to show you that these parts are still with these cars. And I'm back in this building again with all the 621 bell housings and the 4 speeds. Massive amount of transmission cases. I mean, like I said, at least 400 or 500 Muncies are on this property. And this 70 Chevelle here is a nice car, but the owner believes it to be not an original SS, so I won't go into detail about that car. And again, the 71 Chevelle Heavy Chevy that he lost his license driving some time ago. Rare car. Like I said, a little over 6,000 of those cars were built in the 71 and 72 model and 2 model years. And most people think that about 500 or less were of the big block variety, and this is a big block version. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of this massive find. I will do a part 2 to this video. I'm Patrick Glenn Nichols with Patrick Glenn Nichols Muscle Car Barn Finds. You can follow me on Facebook or YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again.